Hello, my name is Christopher Dragon and welcome to Dragon's Game. And unfortunately, I'm not here with good news. You see, I was going to do a bigger video on this in the future, specifically when I managed to get my hands on a ps5. But I'm doing a smaller one now because of what happened today. Um, Suffice it to say, the stores are now open today. So, I thought, just on the off chance, because I thought, well, if the stores are open, then there might 1% chance that there could possibly be PlayStations in the stores. So I went across and went to our particular store. Now, if it's true what they're saying, I'm not going to say which store that I actually got this information from, because if it's true what they're saying, it's not their fault. But apparently, when I went to the store, I spoke to an employee who basically stated categorically that according to Sony, PlayStation 5s can only be sold online. Now, if none of you understands the reason why this is such a bad thing and why people like myself are getting really, really ticked off by this, is that the Sony PlayStation has been available since November, but not for the original customers just like me, because they've all been taken by scalpers using bots. Now, this is a story which has probably been put on other videos recently and everything else, but this is a new development. Now, scalpers have been taking these by bots by buying 2,000 PlayStations, most likely using credit cards and everything else, and then going on to eBay and other auction sites to sell them off. One of the bots websites that they've been using is carnage.org. I wouldn't suggest doing this because scalpers are now getting some serious hate because of this, and quite rightly so in my view, because they ended up selling them for way over the price that they're supposed to be asking for. And most people around here can't really afford them. Most normal people can't afford to buy a PlayStation for double the price than it's supposed to be. They can barely afford it for the official price as it is. So we thought things was going to actually return when shops started opening and they start supplying PlayStations in store. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, because Sony has officially stated that basically PlayStations can only be sold online. So basically only to scalpers, because that's the majority of the PlayStations that get sold these games ended up in the hands of scalpers and not us. Now, I understand the reason why Sony is doing this. They're doing this because they think, oh, because of COVID. But the fun thing is that the shops are open because they're allowed to be open, and there's social distancing rules and everything else, and I'm sure that gamers would behave themselves to do social distancing rules to line up for a PlayStation to buy physically in a shop where scalpers really can't get one. But Sony now insists that they want to still sell them online, even though that the bots are still in existence and the scalpers can still buy them. Most of the stock that was originally sold in November hasn't been sold because they're still holding the hands of scalpers. This is getting beyond a joke now. Yes, I understand you're trying to do the right thing when it comes to COVID, but the shops are open under social distancing rules, and as gamers, wouldn't break those rules because we want a PlayStation. We'd follow any particular rules we have to do this. Sony, please think of what you're doing here. Forcing stores now to sell only online when most likely you're going to be handling scalpers. This is getting beyond a joke. Please, can you start selling them in stores so that we at least can get our hands on them? No offense, I'm a legitimate gamer. I'm also becoming a legitimate YouTuber, and I refuse to buy from scalpers because they are a cancer to the industry in my view. Them hoarding them is probably the reason why there hasn't been many games being released on the PlayStation, because no one's using the PlayStations that the scalpers have. The one thing is, if they keep this up, gamers are going to start protesting outside outside game stores because they want a PlayStation. But now they're saying only online where bots are incurred. Please, PlayStation, I'm begging you, start selling them in stores so we can actually get our hands on one. As for the scalpers in recent has been saying a few things that they're doing the right thing. They think they're actually Robin Hoods, selling PlayStations for twice the price of the original PlayStations. Now, no offense, you're not Robin Hood. You'd be a much better Robin Hood if you left them in the stores to be sold by legitimate customers like myself. Fair enough. That's the point. The other thing they've been saying is that they've been treating this as a business and using them to put food, selling these PlayStations to put food in their own family's mouths, their own kids' mouths. That's the other excuse they've been putting up recently, which is a load of bull. No offense, if you want to feed your children, don't buy 2,000's worth of PlayStations, because that's what they have actually been doing. Instead, feed your kids with the money instead of buying PlayStations would be a much better thing. It's an excuse, and they're just trying to make themselves look like heroes, and they're not. Don't support scalpers. Don't buy any PlayStations off scalpers until they sell them at the proper price. Now, the proper prices are supposed to be £300 and £400 for the digital edition, £500 for the physical. If they're asking for 700, then those are scalpers. Don't buy from them, because all you're going to do is encourage them to scalp. The worst thing is, scalpers have been taking advantage of this situation at the moment. And the only way to end it is to start selling PlayStations in stores. Now, we're gamers. We're not going to be hoarding or anything of that nature. We would gladly follow any kind of rules just to get our hands on a PlayStation. I'm not going to say much about the Xbox because I'm not an Xbox player. But I'm only saying this from the point of view of a PlayStation player. Let the stores sell in the store, not online, where scalpers will be apparent. I'm sorry for this particular rant. I've had really bad problems with trying to get a PlayStation 5, but I'm going to do this in a further video. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will say goodbye. Goodbye.